Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be talking about having a Sagittarius Sun and Pisces Moon in the natal chart. Now, I'm going to elaborate and expound on that. What I'm talking about is having that Sun-Moon combination in your natal chart, having a Sagittarius Sun and Pisces Moon in your natal chart. Now, the thing is, as far as the basic character, which is the Sun and the Sun, in this case, being in Sagittarius can be very expansive, optimistic, exuberant, jovial, blunt, and self-righteous even. Now, on the unconscious side, which is the moon, the sun represents the conscious side of the person, the moon the unconscious side. And with the unconscious side, the moon being in Pisces, can be sacrificing, sensitive, compassionate, reclusive, altruistic, and passive. Now, the person may bring that Sagittarius, optimism into something Pisces related, which can include boating, fishing, the metaphysical, which includes astrology, the less fortunate, such as helping the impoverished, the homeless, or the hungry, spirituality, chemistry, or even the paranormal. Now, the sun in astrology reflects our basic wants, and Sagittarius Sun wants to expand your horizons, explore, be that perpetual learner. And the moon is about our emotional needs. And Pisces moon, they need to relax, attain dreams, fantasies, ideals. They may need meditation. Um, the thing too is the sun in astrology is connected with the true self, and the true self, in this case the sun being in Sagittarius, can be enthusiastic, jocular, and philosophical. And the inner self, which is the moon, and in this case the moon being in Pisces, um, can sometimes even may feel inferior, but can also be forgiving, idealistic, altruistic, and compassionate. The sun is about our drive and motivation. And in this case, with the sun being in Sagittarius, the person may be driven and motivated, which is the sun, to express benevolence and expand their horizons in that Sagittarius. And with the moon being in Pisces, it may be done so. It could be through spirituality, being idealistic. It could be with more inspiration, just emotion in general, and even through it could be imagination. Um, Now this, which is Pisces, now this could be more adverse if this is in a square aspect. If the Sun in Sagittarius and Pisces moon is making a square aspect. A square aspect in astrology is 90 degrees. I use a 10-degree orb if at least one personal planet is involved. In this case, of course, you have two personal planets that are involved. So as an example, let's say the Sagittarius Sun is at 17 degrees, and the Pisces moon is at 15 degrees. That would form a square aspect. And the thing is, you would have, you know, kind of, when you have, negative aspect between, the sun and the moon, it could be bringing out, the negative, qualities of both, you know, um, both energies, the sun, and the moon, and Sagittarius sun and Pisces moon. You're talking about very mutable, changeable energy. I mean, the Sagittarius sun, wants, they want the outdoors, and they want, their adventure, travel aboard. And the fact that Pisces moon, needs to escape, it could be person, this combination, especially if it's a square aspect involved. Somebody that, does, the long distance traveling, it could be to escape their problems, which is not always bad, but at the same time, you do need to, to be dealing, with them as well. And it could be, a person. I mean, having this, you have such a strong disparity And this energy with the sun, the Sagittarius sun, is about the outdoors. Wanting the sun is connected with our basic fundamental character, and the Sagittarius sun wants to often travel abroad, go to different countries, um, the outdoors, adventure. And the Pisces moon has more of that need, for isolation and drifting into their own fantasy world and not being, always being around others. So it's really, you have a very, strong, difference between, this energy, like in many sun moon combinations. Now, the thing too is the sun in astrology is connected with the biological father. So the person having a Sagittarius sun, um, the biological father may actually be a Sagittarius sun, moon, or ascendant, or embody those characteristics. And the moon represents the mother astrology. So the person having the Pisces moon, the mother may actually be a Pisces sun, moon, or ascendant, or embody those traits. Now, the thing too is it's also about the perception of these people. So having a Sagittarius sun, the person may perceive the biological father as somebody that's, jovial, jocular, optimistic, expansive, exuberant, and, very, enthusiastic and benevolent, but may also perceive the biological father as somebody that's self-righteous, foolhardy, reckless, flighty, and even tactless. And with the moon being in Pisces, the person may perceive their mother as somebody that's sacrificing, forgiving, altruistic, compassionate, idealistic, but may also perceive the mother as somebody that might be very changeable, even naive, or duplicitous, deceptive, lethargic, maybe apathetic. It's just so you have the good and the bad. Also, maybe you might even perceive the mother as overly passive as well. Now, another thing, with this combination, going back to the square aspect, if you have the Sagittarius sun squaring the Pisces moon, it can increase, the propensity of the biological father and mother, being separated or divorced at some point in time. But a lot of that, their synastry can be predicated on, through their individual charts with each other. The synastry that actually exists between the biological father and mother's individual charts, and that's how you can really look deeper into that and the compatibility between those two people. But again, having that, this, if you have the square aspect, especially, you do have a strong disparity between the sun and the moon energy, and this is this Pisces moon can be super sensitive, and Sagittarius sun, the basic fundamental character tends to let things just roll off them like it's, or at least act like nothing's really, bothering them, the what me worry, kind of philosophy. Now, another thing, to having this combination is obviously when you have the sun and the moon both immutable signs, it's a very adaptable combination, but it's also one which can be changeable and fickle. And the thing is, a lot of this, some of this can be modified, through contraindicators, modifying influences in the chart. I mean, let's say you have the Sagittarius sun and Pisces moon combination in your natal chart, but you have a fixed ascendant. Let's say you have Taurus rising. The person will be less, at least outwardly, less changeable and more steady and stable, than the typical Sagittarius sun Pisces moon combination. Anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment. Until next time, Edwin Learnard saying, stay well.